Well, when we're going live, Ryan? You ready?
Live now. Yeah.
We are live. Or you have to warn us before you go live. We're not even prepared now. Okay, Ryan, we'll start then.
Take it over, man.
You put me on the spot. Well, oh my God. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ryan LFC preview for Liverpool versus Newcastle at Anfield. Put me on the spot. Oh no, I'm getting echo. I'm getting echo. Sorry. Wow. How's everyone feeling about the game after all this Super League bollocks? I'll start with you, Christian. How do you feel about all this with the Super League bollocks?
Well, it's a tough sort of situation, but it's something to bounce back from, if you know what I mean. It couldn't get worse, if you know what I mean. For the club, it probably could a little bit, but generally for football, it couldn't get worse. And for the players, they've been fucking on a low for so long. It's been ridiculous. I think you look at the squad, it's lacking motivation. I don't think he's doing it. He's doing a good job, but without Van Dijk, I think we're struggling. We're struggling really bad for form, and I think this will fucking boost the confidence of the players massively. I think Klopp will get it into them, and I could see us winning all the games for the rest of the season easily. I know it might sound a bit daft, but I do see it.
No, it's not daft, mate. It's literally possible. Like if we're talking about league, we've been unbeaten now since when? Fulham. So we're on good form in terms of we haven't lost a game since Fulham. We drew our last game, obviously, against Fulham. Not Fulham, Leeds, but Zach, how do you feel?
Well, I think last weekend too many teams dropped points and we didn't pick up points because we drew against Leeds. So this weekend, I think Chelsea play West Ham, so one of those is going to drop points. It'd be nice if they could get draw, but we can't let all these teams drop points and us not pick up points ourselves. So as long as we win against Newcastle, get some momentum, get the squad feeling good again, and then push on to the game against United next weekend.
That's going to be a huge game. Well, not a huge game in terms of. It's going to be a huge game for us in terms of positivity and stuff because it means nothing because we're not going to catch up with them this season. Next season, 100%, I think we will. But Ryan, how do you feel about the game tomorrow, early tomorrow, with all the Super League nonsense happening the last 2 days, and the fact that we might have some big punishments coming our way?
At this moment, I kind of feel a little bit better. A few days kind of run off. And I kind of feel a little bit better, but FSG out. They need to leave the football club. I appreciate everything that they has done for the club, but too many times, every single year, FSG make a big mistake. They're not learning. They don't understand the culture of Liverpool Football Club. So for me, FSG out, but on the pitch, going back to a normal performance. We should win that game against Leeds, but we get a point. That's never a bad result away from Leeds United, but a few minutes away to take the 3 points. But to see Chelsea drop points against Brighton, they're going to play West Ham this weekend, is a possibility that Liverpool need to win this game. Not even a possibility, they need to win this game.
100%.
Put the pressure on Chelsea, put the pressure on Leicester City. So for me, it's a must-win game. Every game, the remaining of the game, them is a must-win game, Jersey boy. And do I see Liverpool winning every single game? No, I don't trust this Liverpool team to win every single game and make it in the top 4. Jurgen Klopp haven't won at Old Trafford and we have Man U next. That's going to be a massive game. That's going to be a big game. So let us see what's going to happen.
100%. For me, the last three days has been absolute hell. We had the fear of football ending. We had this whole fear that we were going to get removed from the Premier League. We were going to never play Champions League again because it was a real risk. And 14th Premier League will remove the chairman. I 100% agree with this. I think the punishments we will get in the Premier League, personally, I think all 6 Premier League teams who were in the supposed Super League will get a punishment where all their chairmans and that kind of stuff will no longer be involved with like meetings of the Premier League and committees. And I think we'll get a huge finance. And this is something really interesting to think about. Apparently, we haven't officially left in terms of contract, but we've withdrawn from it. And apparently, if we do officially withdraw, we have to pay Perez, Barcelona, Real Madrid 300 million. That's a
300 million.
300 million. That is literally our transfer window for the next 2 years gone.
The best thing about it is the owners of these clubs took it to themselves basically to make these decisions for us, but they have no clue about football, no clue about the fans, and basically Perez is like a fucking genius, really, because he went, right, let's pick all the clubs that the owners have no clue about football, make this Super League, and we'll put it in the contract that if they leave, because they will, because it'll be a massive uproar, then we get the money to fund our season again. We can go ahead. Like, if all these clubs pay this fee, for example, to Real Madrid, Real Madrid are back on it, really, and they got the money. They got the money to buy Mbappe, all the greatest players again. They're almost laughing, and they should be, really, because what Perez did was awful, but it worked basically.
Just imagine 300 million per club. That's 300. That's what? 300.
How many teams? 11 teams. That's what.
So
3.
Perez, Barcelona are each gonna get 1.8 billion in 1.8 billion share between Perez, Barcelona, and Real Madrid.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Like, the thing with Barcelona is Barcelona is good because the thing is the Laporta wants to be in the Super League, but it comes down to their members. The members I believe will reject it. But the good thing is the Super League's over, and I really think the reason we drew to Leeds was, again, not clinical. 2, wasn't good in defence for the Lorente goal, and 3, the players and manager were put in this situation where the day before they were told that we were going to get banned from the Champions League, banned from the Premier League, all that kind of stuff, and thought it was over. Yeah. So obviously it's going to F with your head. So the good thing is now it's over. We've got a clean slate to come into this game against Newcastle. Newcastle obviously beat West Ham 3-2 in their last game to help us out, but we didn't take advantage, obviously. I'm going to go to you, Zach. How do you feel the game will go tomorrow morning?
Well, I'm not too sure because apparently Nat Phillips is out for tomorrow. Have you heard that, guys?
Yeah, there's rumours about Jota. I can confirm from the press conference that Jota is not injured. He's fine.
That's good. But I feel if we play Fabinho at centre-back, I know it seems the easiest option because Davies hasn't played. Well, he hasn't played for us yet, and Williams is inexperienced. But you miss so much when you put Fabinho at the back from the midfield because it's not just his presence, it's his aerial ability. I've seen balls play over the top. He wins the headers. His positional play. He covers. We miss so much when he's at centre-back, but I just can't see Klopp playing anyone else there bar Fabinho.
100%. So we'll go into our starting 11s. Nat's training, but you see he's just come back from a hamstring injury. You gotta make sure it doesn't, because we've got so many injuries. There's
not much height in the team without Nat in there, because no one's 6'4", 6'5" like Van Dijk, Matip, Nat Phillips. You kind of miss that aerial presence when defending and attacking set pieces.
I'd rather have him fit for the Man United game, to be honest.
100%.
It's going to be a big game.
How do you feel the game will go? Without giving a score prediction.
Well, I think it'll be a tough game. Newcastle got good form recently. They played quite well against West Ham. Obviously, West Ham had the red card and whatnot, but they got players that could really hurt us, especially Alan Max, man. It's just ridiculous, man. He's a really good player, and I think he's been really underrated in the league generally. There's not been much spotlight on him, but he is a very, very good player, and he is talented. And depending on what squad we feel, I think he'll be a threat in himself. But I think it's set pieces with Newcastle. That's the biggest problem. I think that's where we got to just, kind of keep our wits about us and make sure we don't concede any stupid goals. But 100%. I think we'll just have to wait till tomorrow to see, really.
Ryan, how do you feel the game going tomorrow without giving me a score prediction?
Well, I think Newcastle coming to this game in their last 3 games, they take 7 points. So they're in a pretty decent form. A very good performance against West Ham. Impressed with their performance. If Newcastle can come to Anfield and put in a similar performance like this, they have a great chance to get 3 points from this Liverpool team. But when they look at Liverpool, 10 points in their last 4 games. So that's not bad. But Liverpool record at home this season is very atrocious. So it's going to be tough, but we know we're going to back our team to defeat this Newcastle team. They have a few players, not key player, not going to play for the Newcastle team, but when you look upon the Newcastle team, they have John Joe Shelby, player that can give Liverpool a lot of trouble, especially in that midfield, former Liverpool player. Also, you have the England striker. He scored a goal for fun, former Bournemouth striker. So
Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson, he has been doing good for Newcastle, but I think Liverpool should definitely get the victory over them.
Good. All right, so let's do a predicted lineups. I'm going to go over you, Christian. What's your predicted 11 that you think Klopp will pick tomorrow at 11 a.m.?
I think he'll stick with Alisson in goal, of course. Trent on the right. This is a tough one, really. I see him putting Reece Williams in at centre back. I don't see him putting Fabinho at centre back. Don't know why. I just think the Thiago and Fabinho partnership is working so well, and we've got nothing to lose. We need to win the game. There's no draws. There's no nothing. So I think he will put Reece Williams with Kabak, and obviously Robbo at left back. And then I would go Fab, Thiago, and I think he'll drop Gini for this game. I think he was looking quite tired last game. You could see it really. Wasn't playing as well. Even I don't know if he came on in the end, or I don't remember if he started, but I remember watching the game and just looked really tired. So I think he'll give him a rest, and then and obviously the famous front three: Bobby, Salah, and Mane.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that 100% happening. I'll go for me. I'm gonna go Alisson, Trent, and this is what I'm gonna do is because I'm gonna do exactly what Klopp's been doing for a long time, is just go with the centre backs and go with the midfield. So I'm gonna go. This is gonna be really strange because we don't know what to expect, but I have some good feelings because I'm gonna go. What am I going to go with? I'm going to go Trent, Kabak. I'm going to go Ben Davies because why not? Why not? I don't think we're going to get top 4, so why not? Robertson, and then in midfield, Fabinho, Thiago, and Curtis Jones. Why not? He's good in attacking, and then front 3. This is really hard for me because I really don't know what to choose for a front 3. Because, Mane just come back after having a good performance for a long time, actually scoring a goal. So, for me, I'm going to go Jota, Mane, Salah. Because I will feel confidence from that game against Leeds. I want a confidence to continue with Mane. I hope he scores. And I want, obviously, Jota to play in striker because he's not a striker. Firmino and then Salah. What about you, Zach?
I think there'll be Alisson in the net. Robertson left back. I think the 2 centre backs will be Fabinho and Kabak. I hate to say it, but I just feel like Klopp's going to think if Nat's available for the Man United game, I don't want to take any risks this game. I know Fabinho is important to the midfield, but I think he's going to play Fabinho and Kabak, Trent right back, Wijnaldum in the 6 in the defensive midfield. I think he'll play. I know he's a bit tired, but I feel like who else are you going to play there? I think Thiago's more effective in the 8 with Curtis Jones. And then I think he'll play Salah because he got rested against Leeds, Jota through the middle, and then Mane on the left.
That's a great lineup. What about you, Ryan? What's your lineup?
Well, my lineup probably be the same, but I just want to touch a little bit more on the game. I think
Go on.
if we can put in a good performance, we need to put in a good performance. We have a chance to close the gap on West Ham, Chelsea, playing against a Newcastle team are already safe in the Premier League. They have nothing to play for. So us, we need to come out with a A game. I want to see a very good performance, especially if we can repeat that performance to play against Leeds United in the first half. We can do excellent. We can definitely do excellent. But my lineup, I would go with Alisson, Kabak, Ben Davis. You need to play. Simicas. You need to play. Robertson need a little bit of rest. I'm going to injure Robertson. So I'm going with Simicas at left back. Trent right back. Thiago, Milner, and Fabinho inside the midfield. Curtis Jones too soon for him, just coming off an injury back. So yeah. Up front, I'll go with Firmino, Jota. No, I'm going with Jota, Firmino. No, I'm going with Jota, Mane, Salah. I'm benching Roberto Firmino.
So you're like me. You're exactly like me, except you've got a different. So now we go to the big one, big one. By the way, I think Minicute is in the chat again with his fake expressions. I think if it was a real expressions, he would have verified on it. So just be careful. If it is the real expressions, follow me on Twitter at JerseyBoyTweets and I'll believe you. All right. So for me in score predictions, I'm going to go with Ryan first. I'm going to give everyone a bit different. So Ryan, score prediction for tomorrow at 12:30.
1-0 to Liverpool.
Are you trying to kill a goal score? Just want to say 1-0.
Mane.
Do you think we'll score early in the game or late? Will it be like a goal where we've been in it for most of the game, or it will be like a 1-0 and we're hanging on?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be a very close game. Newcastle will
I think it will be very close.
So,
Zach?
I think 2-0, but I think we'll score early, but then I feel like we won't break Newcastle down, so we'll have to bring on a couple of players. And I reckon maybe score a late goal just to seal the game off and win 2-0.
Christian?
Don't know. I think it's got to be like 3-1 or something like that. I see it being a high scoring one for us. I think if we cut, I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll score a couple.
I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I think Newcastle are going to score first because that's what usually happens. But it'll be like one where they score first and we come back. I think it'll be some maximum will probably score in the first 10 minutes. And then we'll get one just before half time. And it'll be one more for the rest of the game. And then we'll have like a late winner.
Let us see Newcastle.
We'll have to see, and other games. We see. Quick ask to you guys because this is crucial for us. What do you? I'm going to go with Christian first. What do you see the score being for Villa versus Chelsea?
I don't know.
I thought it was West Ham versus Chelsea.
Is West Ham?
Not Villa.
West Ham
versus Chelsea.
I was going to say, wasn't ready for that one. I think both sides, they're hit and miss. So you don't know what to expect from them. One game, they could be absolutely brilliant. Next game, they're awful. I think West Ham will struggle because they struggle for centre-backs, and Dawson has been brilliant for them all season. So I'll be honest, I do see maybe a draw or a Chelsea win. I don't see West Ham winning unless there was a real big upset. Chelsea are well organised, always scoring goals with Mount. Obviously Pulisic is back now as well for them. So don't know. It's a tough one, but I don't see anything but a draw or a Chelsea win. I don't see West Ham even having a chance really of winning the game.
Zach?
I reckon 1-1. Like Christian was saying, Dawson's out, been a very good player this season. I think probably played Diop and Ogbonna or something, but I feel like if anyone's going to win the game, it's going to be Chelsea. I feel like West Ham past few weeks, like didn't they play against Leicester and concede those 2 late goals, and then they played against Arsenal the other week, conceded 3, and then the other day against Newcastle. So I don't know. I see them holding on for 1-1 because I feel like they're going to realise the importance of this game.
It's a bit crazy just because, you know, there's so many West Ham fans that hate going 3-0 up because they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea. I think Lingard will score when Chelsea 2-0 up, will be 2-1 and then they score 3-1. I think you will see like Havertz and Pulisic masterclass. So not the way we want it to go, but I would personally, my favorite score be 0-0 or 2-2 because that means draw. They both drop points. Both of us. Ryan, what do you think about Chelsea and West Ham?
I think Chelsea are gonna get the better of them. Reason why West Ham there has been conceding a lot of goals. We don't know the player that they loan, Manu loan him to. Just Lingard. We don't know if just Lingard going to fit. He came off the game injured and stuff. So depend on that they have Mikel Antonio out. So I think Chelsea at home and Chelsea going to be too strong for this West Ham team. So I'm going.
Is Antonio still out?
Who's still out?
Antonio,
is he still out?
Yeah, he out for the season.
For the season?
I think so.
They miss a clinical forward.
There's not much weeks left, so it must be just a hamstring. Because the thing is now, we're at the point now where a hamstring injury could keep you up for the season because we've only got like 3, 4, 5 games left.
They lack strikers, don't I? think they'll sign one in the summer because I don't see any other strikers in their team by Antonio really.
So
yeah, Haller's just left, hasn't he? He's just gone to Ajax.
Who's gone to Ajax?
Haller.
Oh yeah, Sebastian Haller. Yeah, they've got no strikers. They have to play Bowen and
Lingard.
Bowen and press Lingard as a false 9. But just before we finish, because this is all in the topics of what's happened recently, what kind of sanctions do you see us getting? Because there is serious talks about us getting sanctions for the Champions League. I don't think there'll be anything this season because it's been confirmed that Chelsea, Real Madrid and Man City will not get any punishments for this season's Champions League. They're talking with their legal teams right now, and next week there will be a meeting for sanctions. So even there could literally be a situation where even if we get top 4, we won't be in the Champions League next season because we get a European ban.
I don't think they will. It's a tough one, but I don't think there will be any sanctions. Not big ones. I think the intent was there. Obviously, stuff was signed to leave, but at the end of the day, we never did. So it lasted, 1 or 2 days. So I'm not too sure. It depends how the Premier League want to, and UEFA want to hit us as a club or the clubs really. If they want to make a stance to, sort of show their power, or they're just gonna, just basically be chatting rubbish for the whole time. I don't know. It's hard to believe who's telling the truth, especially with the whole situation with this Super League and what UEFA was saying. It's a tough one. It's hard to believe anyone really.
As I said, I don't think there will be any sanctions. I think the sanctions the thing is, any sanctions, it has to be ones that hurt. I think the only sanctions we will get that's bad is by Perez when we have to pay 300 million because if we can't even afford to get a centre back in January, how are we going to pay 300 million?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. Yeah, I think financially, as obviously FSG haven't been really earning much money from the club, especially with coronavirus. I think it'll be. Will they sell up? I don't think they will. I think they'll hold on. I think they won't leave the club. And as much as I'm in the middle with them, I think that I was very much FSG out after that apology, before that apology, and then the sort of apology, video message, sort of the video message. So it did show some intent, but I guess you can't really. That doesn't make it right what they did. That's the problem. Does that really justify what they did? I don't know. It's so hard. Some people are very much FSG out. Some people aren't. I think Liverpool are sort of split down the middle. Liverpool fans in general are just split down the middle at the moment with their
That's
owners.
what happened with the Super League, is it split the fan base.
Yeah, it's very much, and it could be causing fights between fans at the moment. So some of them want them to stay. I've had a couple of my mates just said, what happened, we go on. But to take Liverpool further, are they the right ones? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But then you gotta think. For me, I'm FSG out 100%. It's not the real expressions. It's not the real one. For me, I'm FSG out. But am I FSG out at the moment? No, and the reason is because who at this time right now has 4.5 billion to spend? No one.
No.
I don't think there's anyone right now except probably the Princes and Royals and that kind of stuff to have that. And even then, we'll probably get like someone like Man City owners, but will they care? We want owners to have the financial aspect to help the club, but also know about football and care about the club.
The problem is those people aren't there. They're very hard to come by. I think you look at the world generally at the moment, you can see where the money's at. And do those clubs really want to, those owners really wanting to buy at the moment with financial uncertainty, with coronavirus and what's going to happen when we can start having full capacity and whatnot? I don't know. I think it would be tough.
Agreed.
Yes.
Big up yourselves. What you guys saying?
How you doing?
Yeah, you guys cool?
Yeah, all good,
bro.
Yeah. Just finished doing some quick coding. But yeah, no, I was listening to what you guys are saying. I actually do feel there are owners that I personally think could take it. They might not have to pay the 5 bills straight away, but like if they pay it in installments, I think FSG would be willing to take it. And the problem for me would be, do we want owners that will keep pumping us money for like a short-term side of things, and then if they get bored of us, because essentially those people we want to fund our club, like Man City, would essentially treat the club more like a toy. So do we want owners that would treat our club more like a toy, but at least would be putting money into it? Or do we want owners who will make it self-sustained and make it, be able to, even when they leave, will continue to at least be able to run itself in a way until like another owner comes? Because the way I see Man City, they're enjoying success right now and they're getting investment right now. But if the Sheikh decides he's just going to disappear or he's just going to set it up, my only problem would be, would it be self-sustained? And will it be able to stand the test of time when another owner comes? And I don't really see it with Man City because they pump money in. And I think we're one of the only clubs outside maybe a few here and there that are actually self-sustained, but we do have some investment here and there. So if like FSG were to fuck off now, sorry for that, they'd actually be, our club would still be, sustainable. I can't, it depends what owner you want. Personally, I kind of want an owner like FSG, but will actually take risks. I think FSG is way too conservative, and that's the biggest problem. FSG is good for a club that, needs to rebuild. Like what happened with Hicks and Gillette. We were like in debt at one point. FSG is a really good owner to rebuild your team. But when you're now looking for championships back-to-back and Prems back-to-back, FSG are too conservative.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're going to struggle to find an owner who's going to have a load of money to spend, because a lot of fans want likes of Mbappe and Haaland, and then an owner who has the money to spend like that, and also one who cares about the club. I think you either, like Man City's owner, they've got loads of money, they got in abundance, but how much do their owners actually care about the club? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't make it a priority to sign Mbappe. The intent was there. From the club, not so. But obviously, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen in summer. Is he going to go Real Madrid? We don't really know. But I think the amount of money he would bring to the club financially would outweigh the cost of him, really. His wage demands are quite high, and I think that would disrupt the squad in itself. But I don't know. Yeah, the wage demands for these top players is just ridiculous. And you look at Salah, compared to other players generally around the world, he's not really paid that much. I don't know what his wage. I think it's almost £210,000 a week. But look at the rest of the squad. Trent's still on like 20, 30. It's ridiculous, really, for the quality of player. But I think that's what keeps the players sort of humble and just doesn't become. They don't become stars like Neymar and stuff like that, although everyone would love him at a club, but I don't think we could ever afford him just because the way the club is set up at the moment. I think in that sense he would be a brilliant player, but I don't think it would ever happen. I don't think Liverpool ever have big money transfers like Ronaldo's or stuff like that. I think everything will always be just players that could be good, but we don't know, and then they just become superstars like Salah, like obviously Mane, obviously Bobby as well. I think he doesn't get the credit he really gets at the moment. I think it's quite tough for him. I think he's going through a rough really spell, but I think time will come. We'll see what happens in the summer.
I agree.
For me, my only problem is I didn't actually mind the Haaland or Mbappe signing if we could do it, but my priority was really depth, and because FSG have kind of neglected our team's needs ever since we won. In fact, ever since we lost that Champions League to Real Madrid, and Salah got injured, that highlighted for me that we needed another winger, and obviously the obvious thing was that we needed a new goalkeeper at that time. But we also needed a backup goalkeeper because Karius, if he was concussed or whatever, we didn't really have an immediate goalkeeper that we really would look on the bench and would just throw him on. Like if Klopp had a decent backup goalkeeper and he saw maybe that Karius had taken the injury, I think without hesitation he'd have thrown on the second goalkeeper. But it's like Klopp weighs it in. He's like, Karius is probably at that time a level better than whatever our second goalkeeper is. So he's like, I'll just keep him on anyway. And obviously that backfired. But then you look at when we won the Champions League, what signings did we get? We didn't get that backup winger again. And even then, Salah was still injured again, and Firmino was injured. So we had to play Wijnaldum, I think, up in the front at one point, and I think Shaqiri was playing up front. So it shows the lack of wingers we had at that time. And then we still didn't have that proper backup goalkeeper. I think come the Champions League, that's when we got Adrian. That's also when we got Sepp van der Berg instead of a backup left back or a backup right back, because it's been ages since we got a backup left back till Tsimikas came in. So that had been a massive, wait to get a left back. And that time we got Tsimikas should have been the time we got a backup right back for Trent. A backup right back to replace Klein, who was really good defensive right back. That's when we should have got someone that could challenge Trent, but also offer us a defensive side of play on that side, because Trent's amazing going forward. He's generational going forward. But I think if you give him a defensive partner that can challenge him, it gives us options to mess around with. We never got that. So we got Sepp van der Berg. Coming to the Prem one, that's actually probably the first time I've seen us in maybe 3-4 years actually get transfers where we got Thiago, we got a winger, which by this point we needed 2 wingers and maybe a striker. We've so far just got obviously Jota, and then I believe we got Tsimikas, which is our left back. So we started addressing things way too late, which means had we addressed all of the needs we needed for those past 3 seasons, this season we'd have been talking about Mbappe or Haaland without a doubt, because we only would have needed to fill one room. So we could have splashed out that 100 mil, that 120 mil just on one role. Because we now need 5 roles because of Gini Wijnaldum this upcoming summer. We're pretty much we're not really in the position to look at Mbappe, Sadio, or Haaland, because our depth is really, really bad. And it only took Jota getting injured to show how little competition that front three has. And that's our problem. We've relied on the same squad for almost 2 seasons, 3 seasons now, that we don't have any competition in that team. And if we look at our whole squad, they've won everything they can win. Champions League, Prem. So the only thing keeping them motivated is competition.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, I know that the club at the moment look like there's a lot of problems and stuff, but I think the good thing is now, so a lot of our high-profile players, they don't necessarily look at moving on. If you look back over the years, Torres left, Suarez, Coutinho, they all reached this sort of level, and then they went to Barcelona, Chelsea and stuff. I feel like now we've come to a place where all our top players, I know you might be thinking, oh, Salah might want to leave, Mane want to leave, but most of our top players now are happy at the club and could stay there for a number more years.
I think I'd be happy if one of the two left. I think maybe more Mane than Salah, because I think we've been stuck to the same sort of identity, the same sort of play for so long. And you look at the great managers like Pep and stuff like that, he mixes it up every week. That team can win no matter what, who's in that starting lineup. If you're playing Bernardo Silva up front, if you're playing him centre mid, or you've got players out on the wing or in the centre, like, he has the players to rotate. But I think Liverpool never have. So we've always been stuck to the same system. And I think you look at it this season, I think a couple teams proper, like, they sort of cracked the code. They knew how to stop us. And you could see it. We could see the team struggling. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen in the summer. I think obviously Kanate could be coming. I know it's just rumours. They say it's been confirmed, but it's sort of seen it before. But yeah, it'll be definitely nice to see what they do in the summer. Maybe FSG will buy Mbappe just as a sorry. Like, we can only hope.
Never know. I feel like we're different.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, what would make it's not that it would make my feelings to FSG better, because I still want. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like the FSG thing is difficult, and why it's difficult for me is it's not that I'm gonna say that, you know, like, they're shit owners completely, because we've seen bad owners and we know what bad owners are. But
Bro,
with FSG,
they need to come out of the club, bro.
See, that's what the thing is for me. But then again, that I think probably why I'm moving like this is probably because I'm trying to compare them to Hicks and Gillette, and that's the wrong thing to do. I kind of see. Being honest, we know that for where we were, okay, before we became champions, I'd say they're good owners. But after we've become champions, you kind of see that they're holding us back, because I can't believe they can watch Klopp have to keep trying to pull, you know, make magic tricks every single time, and they don't want to help the guy invest. Look at Klopp. Klopp said to us, I think he made, I don't know if it was his press conference or something, but he was trying to say to the fans, please don't turn on FSG. They're good owners. Like, Klopp, bro, don't you understand? He knows himself, yeah. He's obviously not going to say, I want FSG out. They don't back me. But it's like, when Klopp says stuff like that, it makes me feel like, is Klopp seeing what we're seeing? Or are we missing something? Because personally, we've seen FSG. They've neglected how many signings? We should have had 6 signings or 5 to 6 signings up in terms of depth that would have allowed us to do, you know, as Christian, is your name Christian?
Yeah.
Christian, as Christian said, so that we could have been doing rotations like Pep. You see Pep, he can rotate a team that Jesus, 3 actually good centre backs, and we're talking senior centre backs that are like, they're not like injury prone. Like obviously we have that, but Matip is just injury prone, so we can't really count it. But they got Laporte, they got Stones, and they got Diaz. Look at that, and he can rotate that back easily. He can rotate that midfield easily. Their bench, every time I look at their bench and I compare their bench to ours, different. It's different. And we don't even have to just put, we're not asking FSG to put 200 mil every season. We're not asking for Man City money. All we're asking is give Klopp at least 100 mil to sort out this. If what Klopp could do with you see this 200 mil Frank Lampard got, what Klopp could do with 200 mil, him and Michael Edwards, our depth would be fixed.
Yeah.
See this thing where we've been lacking a number 10 like Coutinho, and this is why we're so stagnant against any team that low blocks us. It's because we have no midfielder who really wants to shoot outside the box. You see that Bruno Fernandes guy, even though I like to call him Penardes and everything, that guy is not afraid to take shots outside the box or afraid to try something. Our midfielders, other than maybe Shaqiri and Ox when Oxalade's on it, that's probably the only two I can say will try and take a shot outside the box. And in this modern day football, you can't be just having that. And that's why I know this talk, people want Coutinho back, but mate, we need more than Coutinho. Yeah, true. 100 mil's not enough, but what Michael Edwards and Klopp can at least do with 100 mil, it can get us a lot closer in depth than where we are just getting pesky like 20 mil, 30 mil from selling players. Because people need to understand we can't be selling players anymore. We can't be just dashing our good players to rebuild. We need to be adding players onto what we have. And
100%.
we can't be doing this 1 minus 1 plus 1 type of thing. We're not trying to stay at 1 forever, man. We need to be moving 2, 3, 4 up levels. And FSG, that's what I say about FSG, is they do not know how to have a champions winning team. They're good at having a team they rebuild, but once the rebuild's done, you ain't asking the builder to decorate your house. You need people that do that stuff. So
yeah, I see where you're coming from, but don't you reckon?
Take Coutinho back?
Yeah.
But what may I say still, and what may I say on the FSG still, my brother? You know, when I done it FSG, we are now a pinnacle, we are now a top, and all they has to do, you sell Lovren, it did not replace him. You bring in Jota, you bring in Thiago, 2 very good players will improve the starting level. We all see that. But sell a centre back, you haven't replaced him. Why you take Fabinho play him at centre back? They might already have this plan, so they're going to play Fabinho at centre back. Bad choice. City make the same mistake and will come back and make the same mistake that City make. City made the mistake and we never learn from that. That end up cost City. No, look at this, brother. 2018 season, we went to the Champions League final, we win it. We didn't sign anybody in the summer more than Adrian.
Honestly.
After that, we go to the Premier League back. We run, we win the Premier League back, come back. No, money should indicate it from we win the Champions League. Where all of the money gone when we win the Champions League? No, fast forward now, we win the Premier League. Where is the money gone? Where is the money gone? Installment. We do 2 installment with FC Bayern Munich, 20 million to pay for Thiago. Our pay must is 5 million upfront. Same thing with Jota, we pay must 10 million upfront. Where all the money gone? And tell us they don't have any money. This is why I want FSG back. Listen, we as Liverpool supporter better prepare. Be prepared. Klopp has been covering up a lot for them money. It's when Klopp leave, just like when Ferguson leave, the Glazers and everybody sit through the Glazers, that's what going to happen to FSG. Remember, when Klopp come, at Liverpool, nothing was working for FSG, They buy be a ball away. Not good enough. Not the quality for Liverpool. So, they make a lot of mistake in the past. Every year, as I said, they make a big mistake where fans have to get upset. They push me over the top now. Bill Shanky, how you think him going to feel turning him grave about to want to come erase our Champions League? We have 6 Champions League. This mean lot to we. We so special when it come on. Every club want to be like Liverpool when it come on to Champions League. Or the atmosphere and you want to come erase that just because you want to get 300 million? No. These men are billionaires. How much money they want? How much money they want? I know FSG haven't going at them pocket and say, okay, let us give Jurgen Klopp something. Make him go to the next level. At the right time, we're for strengthen. Ferguson know when for strengthening team when they become Premier League champion or Champions League champion. That's the biggest thing, you know. We fall behind right now, you know. Come next summer, if we don't spend, Man United are going to run because they're going to spend. They're going to be in the Champions League and they're going to have money. They're going to come second. Who knows if they win the Europa League, they're going to have extra money. So them going to a few more players. Man United, whether we like it or not, they're taking time, close the gap on Liverpool if they can get it right. Remember, United, if you look on some of them signing, they has been getting it right. The last couple signing, all of them has been producing. So Liverpool, they can go on sleep. FSG can go on sleep because I'm telling you this, if they do not give Klopp at least 150 million to strengthen the team, we have a few players need to go. Axe, Navigator, they're not adding nothing. Shaqiri, Origi, they're not adding nothing. Adrian need to go. So we need to make sure we spend in the right places and bring in the right pieces what we need to challenge Manchester City. You think Manchester City going to sit back this summer and Sergio Aguero leaving? No, they're going to strengthen. So I am worrying about Liverpool, guys. I'm telling you, I'm worried, and with this owner, you can see it in the owner face. Come telling boy, apologize. No, it messed me up, bro. It messed me up, Bridging. Them asleep, Bridging. These men are asleep. You want to make money. You want to make money. I have the opportunity to sign 2 or 4 more players when I win the Champions League. You didn't. You make the same mistake. Anytime club leave, when I see the real FSG. Remember me, I tell you.
I agree. The thing is, though, we all crave a player like Coutinho, but I don't think necessarily that our players are incapable. So if you've seen over the years, Fabinho, he can shoot from outside the box, like Palace last season, Man City. Henderson, especially back in that 13-14 season, he scored a lot of goals in his early Liverpool days from outside the box. I think Wijnaldum can. You can see for the Netherlands, he's got a goal threat. I just think the way Liverpool play is send it out to the fullbacks, balls into the box. I feel like we need to either give a different dimension and go for a goal from outside the box, or I don't know, it's just tricky like that. Do you agree?
I think you're correct, but I kind of also think there has to be a player who, I'm not saying if it is something that Klopp is really rigid on, then we got to say that Klopp might be in one way. If it's not Klopp, then it might be Linders. One of them in one way might be a problem in terms of going forward, because if they are seeing that we are playing one way and it's not working and we are devoid of a plan B, then one of them has to really hold at this point some conversation that, yo, this isn't working anymore. Teams have found us out. Let's mix it up. Yes, okay, if we want to play on the wings, we play on the wings here and there, but we also mix it up with getting our midfielders to, throw in some long balls here and there. Because for me, the way I see it, I think we still need one player who is proven at least will consistently try and shoot from outside the box. And we're not saying spam balls, but like when they do it, it's like it's going on target, because just that threat to a goalkeeper that, okay, it's not just Salah, Mane, and maybe Firmino, whoever's going through the middle, or Jota, but you've got now a midfielder who might want to shoot. Even maybe if it is, Klopp might need to tinker with the fullbacks. Now, I guess Robertson doesn't really have a shot on him, but Simi, as I heard, he's quite attacking wise, he's actually pretty decent. Why don't you work with Tsimikas and work with Trent, and also try and get those two? Okay, instead of just crossing it in at times, why don't you try and take a shot? Why don't you try and move to the center?
Yeah.
Well, Trent does do that, doesn't he?
Exactly, he does, and he
There's
can
that chop inside, doesn't he, on his left foot?
exactly. But I think it's just if we can get the fullbacks to be at least consistent at trying to take a shot instead of just crossing, like even just 75% crossing, 35% shot instead of like 85 90% crossing and then 5% shot. That's a different dimension because now you've got a fullback who's trying to also take a shot. Like the when I think about a fullback that could shoot, Risa on the left back role, different. He could shoot, and he like that dimension of having a fullback that can actually shoot. As a goalkeeper, you can't prepare for that. And that's what we really need. We need extra dimensions, and we don't have that. And again, as I said, with like, is that right?
Some
Ryan, if you're gonna, why are you listening to music, Ryan? We're still live.
The thing is, I feel like we criticise them not shooting outside the box, but how many times are you watching the TV and you see Robertson or Trent coming down the flanks and say Milner or Henderson's got the ball and you go, play it out wide to the fullbacks, when sometimes they could have a go on the shot themselves, couldn't they?
Because I think it's just this cross and inshallah thing that's been consistently happening. I think it was working for us for ages. But teams have now figured this out, and the start of that was losing our Anfield record to who is it? Was it Burnley? God, man, Burnley of all flipping teams, we lost to that, and you know Burnley is that type of team. They just sit there and like come out
balls away.
Exactly,
and strike a triangle, isn't it? You get the midfielder, he plays it to the fullback, crosses it in, they head it away. We're good at winning the second balls, but then it's like recycling play all the time.
Recycling, and they're happy to let you have all that possession and everything because that's their game. And that's why you need another idea, and that's what Pep can do. That's why Pep pams Burnley every single time, because he has that ability with his team to have midfielders. He's got Gundogan who can try and take a shot. He's got Kevin De Bruyne who can try and take a shot. And he's got Phil Foden who can try and take a shot. They've got people who can create but also take a shot. We only have people who can create.
Hold on there. Just a second. What happened, Jersey boy?
I'm just laughing just because you're sitting there in the background when everyone's talking, putting UK San Andreas music.
Oh, sorry.
Did you forget we're live or something?
Well, yeah, forgot. Sorry.
I was like, where's it coming from?
We're lucky to get on just on stream then.
Guys, I have to wrap up now. When you see me in this Jamaican jersey, I have interview for you. I have a Jamaican player to interview at 1 p.m. and he just texts me. So we'll catch up back in the watch along. So sorry about that. I have to take care of next business. I am going and do an interview now with a Jamaican player. So we will catch up, my brother. Appreciate you guys. And thank you very much.
See you tomorrow, Zach. See you tomorrow, Ason.
See
you, man. Yeah.
See you guys later.
We'll try to catch you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Jersey boy, later.
Later. I can't believe you forgot you were live. We're lucky you weren't on this. Oh, yeah, I thought I'd love to see you just on stream. No, we wouldn't just see it on stream. Well, good interview. I love the interview. You got thumbnail good?
Yeah.
That's
you.
Good. So you can go literally as soon as you're finished, you can put a shout up, which is good.
All right, later.
All right, later, bro. Enjoy the interview. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, later, guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys for watching.